Hi everyone, hope you all are doing really great and preparing very well. And this is my new video on TestNG interview questions. TestNG is also a very important topic wherein we have a little more basics to understand about TestNG. So it's a small series, so it's only 10-12 slides. So let's dig into the slides, and before that, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like, share and subscribe. So what is TestNG? TestNG is what is NG stands for? It's next generations. So it's a testing framework that can be integrated with Selenium or any other automation tool to provide multiple capabilities like assertions, reporting, palette test executions. For that purpose and for using different tags and customize our test process like test execution process, we will be using a TestNG. So what are the main advantages of TestNG? TestNG provide different assertions that help in checking the expected and actual results. It provide parallel executions, how it will be. So in the TestNG file, you will be adding a tag equals to parallel tag, and then again the thread count also you will be adding. It provides parallel executions of test method. We can define the dependencies of one test method over other using depends on methods. We can assign priorities to test methods in Selenium. It also allows the grouping of the test methods into test groups. It also allows data driven testing using data provider. It has inherent supports for reporting. It has supports for parameterization of the test cases using parameter annotation. Okay. Now, how is TestNG different from Selenium WebDriver? So, Selenium is an automation tool which can automate web-based applications. In order to add testing capabilities and test automation suite, Selenium is clubbed with TestNG. With TestNG, we can have different features in our automation suite like different types of assertions, reporting, parallel executions, parameterization, etc. In short, for doing automation testing, Selenium helps with automation and TestNG helps with testing capabilities. So this is the difference between both of them. So what is the use of testng.xml file? Is used for configuring the whole test suite. In the testng XML file, we can create a test suite, create test groups, mark tests for parallel executions, add listeners, pass parameters to test scripts. We can also use this testng file for triggering the test suites from the command prompt, terminal or Jenkins. So how can we group test cases like separate test cases for sanity suite and regression suite? So using group attributes in TestNG, we can assign the test methods to different groups. So test method belonging to sanity suite. So we can use group equals to sanity suite. I think this is a little line में थोड़ा सा problem हो गया. And that's how you can put it. Like you can have test annotation with the group. Again, you can have group equals to sanity. Like this is how it has to be. Okay. How can you exclude a test method from getting executed by tester? Like if you wanted to exclude something, you can use exclude tag. So in that you will be using set, like you have put in this exclude, right? Exclude here. So if you can see exclude here, so the name equals to test method excluded, which has to be excluded. You put your name there and that can be excluded. So what are some commonly used TestNG annotation? And I think for this you really have to have the order also. So before like at the rate test, at the rate suite, at the rate before class, at the rate after class, before test, after test, before method, after method, and at the rate data provider also. So these are the things which has to be like it is be when I learned it like मैंने जो लर्न किया था तो आई लर्न लाइक STCM. So it is be like before suite, before class, before test, before class, before method. So that's how I learned STCM करके learn कर लिया था, and it was helpful for me because it's difficult to learn, right? So ऐसे करके learn कर सकते हो. That's a trick. Okay. So what is the order of execution? Order of execution mostly people ask, right? So STCM करके मैंने इसे रन कर लिया था, and it was very easy for me to be very precise in terms of interviews. So what is the order of executions? Like before suite, before test, before class, before method, sequence combined with before annotations, and then test annotations, then we have after annotation sequence. So the order of the execution is before suite, before test, before class, before method, then again at the rate test, then after method, after class, after test, after suite. That's all. फिर वो उल्टा चलेगा, आफ्टर मेथड के बाद आफ्टर क्लास, आफ्टर टेस्ट, आफ्टर स्वीट. ओके. So what are the common assertions provided by TestNG? And some of the common assertions provided by TestNG are assert equals का फॉर्म कैसे लिखते हैं? assert equals string actual, string expected और string messages and other overloaded data types and parameters. assert not equals double data 1, double data 2 ऐसे करके. ठीक है. assert false, assert true, assert not equals. So these are the assert statement can be used. How can we disable or prevent a test case from running? So by setting enable attribute as a false, we can disable a test. तो enable करके होता है equals to अगर तुम false कर दोगे तो that will like disable the test cases. And अगर test method belonging to a group तो then test group equals to negative test. and negative test है जैसे कि तो enabled equals to false कर सकते हैं उस group को ही. So how can we test one method depending on, like we'll be using depends on tag. So you can put depends on @test depends on method equals to the method which is being with the test case which is being dependent on. So how can we set the priority of the test cases? So priority starts from 1, but it will count from 0. So it will start from 0. Okay. So we can define priority using priority parameters. So the test with lower priority values will execute first. Example, priority equals to 1. So what is the default priority? Default priority 0 होती है. तो if we have a one test case with priority z1, one and one without priority, then the test would without priority value will execute first. So the default value will be 0. So tests with lower priority are executed first. How can we run a test method multiple times in a loop? like invocation count लगा देते हैं. invocation equals to अगर हम 10 लिख देते हैं तो it will be like एक ही method को 10 बार run करेगा. What is the thread pool size? How can we use it? The thread pool size attribute is specify the number of threads to be assigned to the test method, and this is used in conjunction with the thread counts invocation count attribute. So the number of threads will be divided by the number of iterations of the test method is specified in the invocation count attribute. So thread pool size 5 हो गया, thread count 5 हो गया, ऐसे करके thread invocation count 10 हो गया. तो thread count 5 में चलेगा 2-2 करके. What is difference between soft assertion, hard assertion? So soft assertion, it's like allow us to you have the multiple assertions within a test method. Even an assertion fails, the test method continues. Hard में ऐसा नहीं होता. Hard में like अगर एक fail होता है तो it will stop the executions. Now we also have the skip exceptions. We can conditionally skip a test case on throwing a skip exceptions. Exceptions की जब बारी आती है TestNG में तो this is how it has to be. The test method is marked as skipped in the execution report, and any statement after throwing in exceptions will not get executed. How can we make sure a test method runs even if the test methods or a group on which it depends fail or get skipped? So using always run attribute, you should be knowing all those tags क्योंकि यही सब पूछते हैं TestNG में. अगर you are saying you worked on not on worked on BDD, you have worked on TDD. So this is how these all questions has been. So always run tag लगा देंगे, then this is how it has be. It has to be. Depends on method dot always run equals to 2 लगा देंगे. तो however, even though the parent test failed, the dependent method will not get skipped. Instead, it will execute it because of the always run equals. like अगर parent test अगर मेरा fail हो गया जिस पे मैं डिपेंडेंट थी तो वो फेल हो गया तो लेकिन फिर भी वो इट विल रन. ओके. सो हाउ कैन वी पास द पैरामीटर टू द टेस्ट स्क्रिप्ट यूजिंग TestNG? So using parameter annotations in the parameter tag in the TestNG.xml, we can pass the parameter to the test script. Okay. We can pass by using TestNG.xml. Okay. We can have the parameter tag and you can have the parameter name and the parameter value in your TestNG.xml. How can we create a data-driven framework using TestNG? You will be using a data provider. You can create a 2D array like 3x2 matrix का बना सकते हो, and then you can pass the parameters over there. What is the difference between factory and the data provider annotations? So factory method is to create instance of test classes and then all the test method in that class with a different set of data, whereas data provider is bound to individual test method and run the specific method multiple times. Okay, this is also difference between ये सब पूछे जाते हैं questions. How can we run test cases in parallel using TestNG? So you will be using a parallel tag, like you can put method test or class or thread count, you can give it in the TestNG.xml. Okay, that's all. Thank you. I think this is a quick series. I wanted to have the fast going on. Maybe I was little faster while reading it, but I think this doesn't need much time and I want to take your time. So I think 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you can just see this video and do your revision. And I think that's all from my end. And I think all the best, guys, and do prepare well. There are a lot of companies are searching for a job and still looking out for a referral. Do let me know. I'll happy to refer you.